Hello, hello. My name is Eli. I have created a tool-assisted speedrun of Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire, and I'm going to talk about it. So, a couple of quick explanations before we start. Tool-assisted speedrunning is the process of, rather than sitting down with a controller and trying to run a game as fast as possible, I spent several months constructing a series of inputs that are being fed to this emulator to say, all right, if a human with a controller gave exactly these inputs at exactly this time, what's the best possible run we could construct if we knew everything and could try each individual segment, as many times as we needed to. So this here is my re-record count. So this is the number of times while constructing this movie that I went back to an earlier point and changed some inputs to get a different outcome. So this is a lengthy hobby, but it is very interesting and very fun. It's a lot easier to do than people assume it is, and I think the end product is really cool. So it is worth checking out. So without further ado, we will get started. This is a pinball game, so there's not a clear game over or end game to try and get to. So the speedrunning community has created different categories. In this case, the category we're doing is to defeat Rayquaza as fast as possible. And when you defeat Rayquaza, then the run is over. So let's get started. Now, in order to defeat Rayquaza, we need to get 5 bonus rooms. We do room 1, then room 2, then we can go back and do room 1 and 2 again. The second time you beat room 2, you can then move on to room 3, which is Rayquaza. So to earn a bonus room, you need to get 3, points or balls. You'll see there's 3 balls underneath the little picture window in the center there, where there's now the first Pokemon we're catching, Wingull. When you catch a Pokemon, you get 1 ball. When you evolve a Pokemon, you get 2 balls. So we've just caught our first Pokemon. There's a little trick in there I'll talk more about later, but hitboxes are kind of a suggestion in this game. So we caught it, and you'll see underneath this box we'll now get 1 point. We're going to use the slots to get a couple of bonus rewards to speed things up, but for now we're just going to evolve it the old-fashioned way. We spin around this loop 3 times to spell out EVO, and now we can pop in there and enter Evolve mode. So after a catch and an evolve, we'll have earned our first bonus room. Now we take the opportunity to spell out hole down there. That's what allows us to go into that hole in the center of the screen and spin the slots. The first time we spun the slot, we just ended it immediately because there was nothing of value to the speedrun on that slot. The second time we spin the slot, we get a free catch mode, which is much quicker than earning it the normal way. So now we're entering the first bonus room, and this is where I think it really starts to look like a TAS, because I know exactly where random elements are going to spawn, or, the results of any random call. So I know exactly where the ghosts are going to be, and we can hit them all very quickly. So in this room, you have to hit 20 of those Duskulls. Then the big Dusclops comes in after stomping for several minutes. You gotta hit him 5 times. However, as I mentioned earlier, hitboxes are kind of a suggestion. So what happened there is when he spawns in, if the ball is already inside of the hitbox, or you can get it wedged in a weird way, the game gets confused and just drops it straight down, and you can get 2 or 3 hits in a row. So we're now already into the next catch mode. To catch a Pokemon, you've got to hit 3 of those bumpers up top. And the reason we do 2 and then come back is if you hit all 3 at once, it will pause the game and play a little, cutscene animation, which is really slow, and stops us from doing that trick where we get the ball inside of the tentacle before it gains collision. And normally you're supposed to hit that Pokemon you're catching 3 times. And we just got all 3 hits in one go because the ball was inside of the collision box and the game couldn't figure out where to put it. So now we're going to spin around, earn Get to let us catch, but we're not going to do that yet. We're going to go into Evolve mode again. Now this is actually where I deviated from the normal route, or the route that I was planning on, because somehow in the opening menu I saved one frame, which meant that instead of starting in the ruins like normal, we started in the ocean, which is cool, but all of the Pokemon in the ocean have 0 or 1 evolutions. There is no Pokemon in the ocean that has 2 evolutions, so we had to modify things a little bit. But for now, we're going into bonus room 2, which is Kyogre. Kyogre is very scary. It can send out a big wave that freezes your ball, and it can spawn whirlpools and just do lots of things to mess with you. You have to hit it 15 times in order to beat it. Now watch closely. That was 5. That was another 5. And that was 5 more. That's 15 hits. We're done with Kyogre. Easy peasy. There's a weird collision box at the back right corner, where you can get the ball wedged inside of the Kyogre, and so the game registers that you've hit it, but it doesn't know how to eject the ball and bounce it off, so you can just kind of hang out there and get a bunch of hits all at once. So once again, catch a Pokemon, use the little glitch there to get all 3 hits in one go, set up for our next bonus slot, and we're actually not going to take it yet. We're going to evolve first, because what I've learned is if you catch a Pokemon, you earn the 1 ball. If we were to get that slot, it would give us a free bonus room, but as soon as we take that, it wipes out this 1 point that we already had. So in order to not lose progress, we're going to go right into evolution. By the way, I haven't had time to stop and explain. To evolve the Pokemon, you need to collect 3 of those yellow EX gems that spawn around the table. Sometimes they spawn in really inconvenient locations that are really slow to get to, but fortunately, all of the random elements in this game are, as far as I can tell, based on the system clock. So if I get a pattern I don't like, all I have to do is wait 1 more frame and slow it down by 1 frame, and I will get a different set of random numbers. So after you beat Kyogre the first time, you gotta beat the Duskull room again, and then go back to it. Very good. Do some more of this. By the way, the reason you can't just hit the Dusclops from the front, because you see the hands are out like that, he will actually catch the ball and chuck it back at you, which is very slow and annoying. So you've got to go around the sides, and because this is a TAS, we can get lots of hits at once, so nice and easy. So now we're going to go back into that 5th slot we set up, and this gives you just an immediate free bonus room. So we're right back at Kyogre. Now, every piece of documentation I could find on this game said, oh, to beat Kyogre or Groudon, or whichever, you have to hit it 15 times. That's all anything anywhere said. So I'm thinking, alright, I can just copy and paste the inputs from the first room. No. When you're catching it, the second time you fight it, you have to hit it 18 times. And I tried. I could not find any setup that gives you 6 hits in one go. So that's why, to catch it for this time, we did 4 back and forths instead of 3. So, a little annoying when I discovered that this close to the end, but it was great. It was fine. So we've caught Kyogre. Now, we just need to earn 1 more bonus room. So it's going to be a catch, an evolve, and then we get to go to the final area and fight Rayquaza. What else haven't I talked about yet? I think I've covered most of it. There's not a lot of major glitches or weirdness in this game. So we don't need to set up another slot, so we just kind of had fun bouncing around there. Catch a Magikarp, we'll get a little Gyarados, and we'll be good to go. But anyway, there's not a lot of major glitches or huge sequence breaks or anything in this game. Although, funnily enough, a week before I submitted this and finished it up, someone found a save corruption glitch, which is very exciting and funny. But for this, there's really not a lot of nonsense. It's just kind of trying to play the game as intended as precisely as possible, which I think is neat. So there's a Gyarados, gets us our 3 points, and we enter the final bonus room. Now, Rayquaza is horrible. It's a bad snake, and here's why. It bounces up and down around the table, as you're about to see. You can only hit it when it's down at the lowest point of its bounce. So there is virtually no way to get multiple hits in one go. So as you can see, we are just doing a back and forth, hit it 15 times as quick as possible. Except right there, when it stops to do its lightning attack, you can get multiple hits. About 8 frames after we get our last hit, by the way, if you're any slower than that, it flies away from the table and spawns tornadoes and plays like an 8-second cutscene, and it's terrible. But we managed to get it in just under the wire. We have defeated Rayquaza, and the speedrun is over. TAS timing actually ends when you do the last input, so it ended a little while ago. So that's that. I hope that that was fun to watch, and my explanation was fun to listen to. I'm not really a YouTuber, so you don't have to like, comment, or subscribe. I just kind of do this when the mood strikes me. But thank you for watching, and yeah, have a good day.